everyone, Josh here, the Wargaming Noob, back with a review of Army Painter's Speedpaint Markers Introductory set. So I found out about these not too long ago. I wasn't able to get the full set, so I went with the three-color set here just to see how they worked out. It didn't cost very much. I got these off of Amazon for about 20 bucks. In this box set, you're going to get Orc Skin, Zealot Yellow, and Blood Red. So I've already used this on a couple of things, and I'm going to go through what we have in here and what I've painted with the markers, one specifically, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on these as a product to add to your hobbying toolkit. So let's open it up. As I said, I've already used the markers, or the marker in question is the Blood Red one. So I have used this. This is Blood Red. We have the Zealot Yellow, and then we have Orc Skin. So that said, I have been using Blood Red on a number of items, and I'm going to show them off first, and then I'm going to give you some thoughts on the markers themselves. So Blood Red obviously was used for this 40K ruin with some other paint. As you can see, a couple coats with the marker itself. I was able to do this. It took me a little bit because obviously it would have been easier with a brush. I did slap chop this. That's why there's some deeper and lighter tones to this particular ruin. But as you can see, the coverage is actually pretty good after one or two coats of the marker itself. And I was very surprised at how that came out. So the next thing was this Space Marine Terminator Captain. I do have a couple of items on this particular figure that are red. I did it on the Dead Tyranid here for the Armored Chitin. And then for the tilting plate on his right shoulder here. So there's that. And then finally, a good example is this Tyranid Winged Tyranid Prime. All the Armored Chitin have been painted with Blood Red, as you can see. So now you have a couple items here that have used this particular marker. So, all right, couple things. The tips are not fine tip, as you can see, kind of more of a medium tip, and that will allow you to paint certain things like flat panels quite easily. A little bit more challenging. You have to be more careful if you're painting smaller detailed portions of a model, right? Like that. This wasn't too bad, but obviously the tilting plate right there was a little bit of a challenge. But the coverage is pretty good. What you normally do is you take your marker, and if this is new, you want to push the tip of the marker into the head here, and then you can pretty much just prime the marker itself. What it does is it feeds ink or paint into the marker tip, and it allows you to paint. So, all right, here are a couple things that I did not like. I think for an introductory set, it's not bad to get these like medium-sized tips, and you can absolutely do coverage on flat panels or larger items quite easily. But on more fine detail things, you have to be really careful, or just default to your regular fine detail paintbrush to get into the areas without it covering. Now, the reason why I bring that up is that if you accidentally mark a component or part of the model that you did not want to have the color, in this case Blood Red, on, like Speedpaint 1.1, the color will bleed through anything that you try to paint over it. So in this example, I painted this white cross over the tilting plate, and after a little while I noticed the bleed through that the Speedpaint 1.0 marker paints had initially, which was a big complaint for that, and which was corrected in the 2.0 Speedpaint release. That said, if you do end up having some mistakes or anything like that, what you can do is you can spray a matte varnish on the model itself, which I did here, and then with that matte varnish applied over like this area, uh, you can paint over it and it won't bleed through. So just keep that in mind. That's the only thing that I didn't like about it, is that it's not fine tip. Maybe in a larger set, I don't think the initial large set has fine tip, but after a while, your tips will obviously be worn and will not be able to do fine detail for what it is. But again, uh, I don't believe that the Speedpaint markers are there to do fine detail. It is there to do like a wider, like grander coverage, like this here, or like something that's large like that. If you were to do fine detail, I would suggest doing using your fine brush with the paint that you're going to use. As it stands, red is pretty much the Red is pretty much the only one that I've been using, but I expect that I'll be using the other two in certain applications, just for my test purposes and for my modeling purposes. The red was more useful for me. I believe there is a larger set that has been released in conjunction with this introductory set, and I feel that the introductory set is a great way to try out this new tool to use in your hobbying toolkit. And if you find that you like this introductory set, then getting a larger set, which will have a wider scale of colors available to you, would be a great asset to your toolkit, because you can use this in certain applications, like doing some corrections, or some, let's say you missed something and you just wanted to like use your marker to paint it. A lot of these colors do line up with some of Army Painter's other colors, so uh, applying them as correction will make it a lot easier. But obviously, I've tried it in a couple different applications, and I'm actually happy with the way it has turned out. And I feel that though you have those two shortcomings, the bleed through and then the non-fine tip, that this is still a great tool to have in your hobbying toolbox. So, all right, that is it. If you like this video, go ahead and click like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it if you would. Click the bell notification icon to get notified of all new reviews coming out of the channel, and then click the link in the description below to join my Discord server. That is the best way I can personally interact with you and chit-chat you about Army Painter and anything else that I cover on the channel. That's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews from Wargaming Noob.